From darkness to light, one man's journey through depression. There are battles we fight that no one sees. Smiles that hide storms. Silence that screams. This is the story of one such battle, the journey through the darkness of depression and the slow, quiet return to light. If you've ever felt lost, broken, or alone, this story is for you. You're not weak. You're not invisible. You are human, and healing is possible. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is keep going. Let this story remind you, even in your darkest hour, the light still lives within you. I used to think depression looked like tears, like sobbing into your pillow or crying in the shower. But what no one told me was that depression could also look like silence, like staring at the ceiling for hours, like smiling in front of people and collapsing behind closed doors, like feeling absolutely nothing at all. My name is Daniel. I'm 34, and for almost 5 years, I was a master at pretending I was okay. It started slowly, so slowly I didn't even notice. First, I lost interest in things I used to love. Photography, hiking, jazz on Sunday mornings. Then came the exhaustion. Not just physical, but the kind of tired that lives in your bones. I stopped returning calls. I stopped leaving the house. I even stopped looking at myself in the mirror. People thought I was just in a funk. I heard it all the time. Cheer up, man. Things could be worse. You have so much going for you. But that's the thing about depression, it doesn't listen to logic. It doesn't care how good your job is or how many friends you have. It doesn't care if the sun is shining. It just sinks in quietly, like fog, and before you know it, you can't see your way out. I remember one morning, I was sitting on the edge of my bed, and I realized I hadn't spoken to another human being in 3 days. Not one word. I looked around my apartment's mess everywhere, curtains closed, light off, and I thought, is this how I'm going to live forever? But the scarier question was, do I even care? I didn't have some big breakdown or dramatic moment. No ambulance, no hospital. It was just one quiet afternoon. I was sitting in the dark, scrolling through my phone for the 100th time, numb, and a photo came up, one from years ago. I was hiking in Zion National Park, grinning, sunburned, wind in my hair. For a second I didn't recognize myself. That guy had light in his eyes. I stared at that photo for a long time, and something inside me whispered, not loudly, not forcefully, just a whisper. He's still in there, somewhere. That was the moment it began. Not the healing, not the recovery. Just the realization that maybe, just maybe, I didn't want this to be the end of my story. So the next day I showered. That sounds small, I know. But when you're in the depths, a shower can feel like climbing Everest. Then I opened the curtains. I let the sun in. I made coffee. I didn't drink it, but I made it. Tiny things, in the world's eyes, invisible. But to me, they were sparks. The beginning of a fight. And then, I called my sister. I hadn't spoken to her in months. She picked up on the first ring. No judgment, no pressure, just presence. She didn't try to fix me. She just listened. That's when I realized I didn't need someone to save me. I just needed someone to sit beside me in the dark until I could find the switch. Healing wasn't a straight line. It never is. Some mornings I woke up ready to fight. Other days, I barely got out of bed. But little by little, I built routines. I forced myself to walk around the block. I started journaling. I signed up for therapy even though the first session made me cry harder than I had in years. I learned things I never knew about myself, that I was holding on to shame from my childhood, that I thought asking for help made me weak, that I had been running from pain for so long. I forgot what peace felt like. It was hard, so hard. But every breakthrough, every small victory, reminded me I was still alive. I wasn't broken. I was healing, and I started to talk. To friends, to my therapist, to myself. I said out loud the things I was afraid to admit. And I started getting responses like, "I've felt that way too. Me too. You're not alone." And slowly, I began to believe it. It didn't happen all at once. There wasn't a single day I woke up cured. But one morning, I looked in the mirror, and I saw a spark. Not the full fire, but a spark. I went back to photography. I wasn't great at first. My hands shook. My eyes had forgotten how to look for beauty. But then, I captured a sunrise, and I smiled not because it was perfect, but because I felt something again. I took a trip. I laughed so hard I cried. I started volunteering at a local youth center, helping teens who felt lost like I once did. I shared my story not because I was a hero, but because I survived. And here's what I know now. Depression lies. It tells you you're alone, that no one cares, that it will never get better. But that's not true. It does get better. Not overnight, not easily, but slowly, quietly, steadily. You won't always feel this way, and one day, maybe without even noticing, you'll laugh again, you'll dream again, you'll live again. Not because the darkness disappeared, but because you carried your light back into it. If you're still here, still breathing, still trying, then you are already stronger than you think. Healing doesn't mean you'll never hurt again. It means the hurt no longer defines you. Depression may be part of your story, but it is not the whole story. Like Daniel, you have the power to take one small step and then another, until the darkness fades and the light returns. So hold on. You are not alone. You are not broken. You are becoming. And one day, your story may be the reason someone else decides to stay.